So you want to reinvent yourself in 2026. Well, this is the video for you. If you're new to the channel, my name is David, and I give my takes on random things such as life, improvement, even the things of the spiritual realm, whenever that comes along. I do believe in the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, so you will hear about that in this channel, definitely. But to the topic at hand, you might be asking yourself, David, it's barely September. September just started of 2025. What do you mean 2026? Well, I'm glad you had that thought, because the truth of the matter is that if you want to set yourself up for success in 2026, make it so that the people that remembered you from a bygone era will look at you and say, wow, then it starts now. Your quest for that kind of stardom starts today, right now. So if you leave this video and you don't change a single thing about your processes today in order to make something different for the future, then you're wasting your time. But for those that are listening closely and really have that hunger and that fire within themselves to make a change and to leave an impact on their communities and to please God, of course, this is the video for you. So anyways, you might have heard of the so-called winter arc. The great lock-in of 2025 is the 2025 iteration. The winter arc was last year's, and I can tell you that I took advantage of the 2024 winter arc, and it started in October for me. And I decided to have a system in place to do what exactly? Well, it was to build muscle and to lose a lot of weight. I will post more videos about that topic soon, but I needed help, right? And that's the first thing I would say is, in order to build this system, if you don't know what you're doing, just get help, even if it costs you some money, right? And as for myself, I hired a personal trainer, and that experience was a really cool experience in and of itself. That'll be a topic for another video. But essentially, he laid out a game plan for me, and all I had to do was just follow it. And for 3 months, so from October, November, and December, I was able to lose about 30 pounds in 3 months. And for those of you who have ever done weight loss journeys, 30 pounds lost is a lot of weight. It really is undeniable, that kind of change. Going from, above 20% body fat and then making that change of losing 30 pounds, it really is just a massive change that no one can really take away from you. No one can say, oh, you didn't do anything. They will notice, and they will have to respect you for that, because 30 pounds in 3 months is a very uncommon feat. But in the grand scheme of things, when you meet the people who devote themselves to that goal, they make it a non-negotiable. And that's the second thing that I would say, apart from getting the system in place, is to make it a non-negotiable thing, right? In my case, I had to follow a strict diet plan. I had to follow a strict sleeping schedule. And I also had to follow a strict eating schedule, right? And I had to do that 7 days a week. And to go from what I was doing before to then this new system, it was tough. But of course, that gets into number 3, is to have someone hold you accountable, right? Oftentimes we need that accountability. And my personal trainer, my fitness coach, he provided that for me. So, do realize that if you have a history of falling off the wagon with certain things that you want to commit to, then it might be good to have that accountability partner in your life to help you get to that next level, to give you that competitive edge. And really, at this point, it's just patience. So long as you keep going, you're consistent over a span of time, the results will speak for themselves. And today, it's still September. So if you carry out these things for the rest of the month, October, November, and December, when January rolls around, when the new year rolls around, the 2026, maybe you can say with confidence, new year, new me, because you will now have this system in your head, and the hope is it doesn't stop when the winter stops. So yes, it'll go through January and it'll go through February, but the point is that this is now just a part of you, and you keep going with that well into the spring season and the summer season of that next year. And at that point, it's a part of your life, most certainly. At least I'd hope so, right? Obviously, God throws curveballs at us all the time, and we have to take breaks for a season on certain things. But we often learn a lot. God teaches us a lot in these seasons about what we're really capable of and the sort of excuses we also make for ourselves. And I can say that I think there's quite a bit of charm in the winter arc trend, because you are faced with decision making. You have to decide whether or not you're going to be faithful to your plan even through Halloween, through Thanksgiving, through Christmas, and through New Year's. And I can tell you, there's nothing wrong with enjoying life a little bit, but you got to ask yourself, will that person get back on track? I could say that in those days, I probably couldn't have done that at that point in time. So I was faithful to my diet and things, even through those celebrations, right? Do keep in mind that when you're doing something like this, trying to reinvent yourself, you really don't need to throw the baby out of the bathwater and become a monk, if you will, right? If you want to become physically jacked, please don't become socially anemic, right? Don't become mentally anemic as well. I know the physical and the mental really go hand in hand in a lot of ways, but socially it does come in as well. And we all need to be working on our social skills. I know I need to be working on my social skills. So that's what I would say on this topic. 2026, it's going to come faster than you think. And the best thing that you can do right now is to start whatever it is that you have on your mind right now, whether that's fitness, or whether that's starting a YouTube channel, whether that's, getting into a relationship and exercising that, whether that's starting a business, whether that's finishing a creative project or starting a new creative project that maybe you haven't done for you artists out there. Maybe it's wanting to be more involved in your community, right? Things that you can do, things that you can participate in that would require a substantial amount of your time on a regular basis and a consistent basis. So this can apply to literally anything. But the point is should you start now, be consistent and have the passion for it, the praise and the recognition will come your way in due time, right? And of course, that's not ultimately why we should do these things. The reason why we should do anything is for the glory of God. But of course, when we do things for the glory of God, we benefit, even if it doesn't feel like it in the moment. But at some point, you can look back and say, I'm thankful to God that I was able to do that. I'm thankful to God that I learned these things, even though it was hard and it felt really hard. There's nothing better than to take to heart God's work in your life. And so that's what I'll end this video on. So I hope that this was helpful to you. If you've got any goals in mind that you're dead set on, drop them in the comments below. Let me hear about it. I'd be glad to talk to you about those things as well. See if I could provide value or any wisdom on that. And until next time, I hope you have yourself a damn good one.